Nestling in the Calbourne Valley lies Calbourne Water Mill. Flour has probably been milled on this site for over 1,000 years. Today, the stone mill still operates, both as a museum feature and for the sale of wholemeal flour. In the 1890s, Calbourne Mill was already producing white flour from millstones with the use of a dressing machine. And in 1893, the then mill owner, George Weeks, decided to meet the increasing demand for white flour by investing in a roller mill. After a faltering start, the 1880s had seen the new roller technology receive widespread acceptance, but mostly in the larger port mills. The installation at Calbourne was specifically designed for the country mill by a pioneer of roller mills, Henry Simon. It ran for over 50 years, finally ceasing full-scale production in 1955. Today, Calbourne Roller Mill is one of only a handful remaining in Britain, and probably the earliest example.
The main purpose of the roller plant is to separate the endosperm, flour, from the outer layers of the wheat, the bran, and the wheat germ. The wheat germ is the potential new wheat, whereas the bran is the protective case for the plant, and located within the flour are the starch granules, which form semolina.
When installed, the water wheel failed to provide sufficient regular power, so an oil engine was fitted. This was replaced shortly afterwards by a steam engine. In 1920, the gas suction engine seen today was installed, although now running on colour gas. But the roller mill can still be driven by the water wheel. The roller units here on the first floor are the heart of the system. 6 pairs of steel rolls are housed in 3 units. The rolls break and mill the stock in what is known as the gradual reduction process.
As wheat enters the system, it passes through a set of magnets designed to remove metal particles from the wheat to protect the rolls as well as the finished flour. The wheat then continues down wooden spouts until it gets to the brake rolls. The brake rolls are there to remove the bran from the endosperm, the finished flour. They do that by a scraping action. The brake rolls have a fluted surface. As the 2 rolls run at different speeds, so the flutes actually scrape the bran from the flour. After 3 sets of brake rolls, the reduction rolls, which are smooth, are now reducing the finished flour to a finer and finer state.
Following the action of each pair of rolls, the stock is elevated to the second floor, where some flour and bran is screened and extracted, before returning the balance to the next pair of rolls to continue the reduction. The dressing floor receives stock after processing through the various roller actions. Each device separates out elements of the stock at different stages of the reduction. Flour begins to be extracted about halfway through the process.
The scalper is the first of a series of sieves receiving stock from the first and second rake. The wire cloth is designed to allow flour through, but bran remains on the outside to be sieved away.
The purifier removes the dust and light bran waste before sending the stock to the reduction rolls for milling. It is probably the most sophisticated device in the system. It separates the elements by both weight and size. This diagram shows a section of the purifier viewed from the side. The stock is fed onto a belt made of sieve material. The belt slowly travels the length of the purifier with a vibrating action. Air is drawn out by an extractor at the top of the unit, bringing currents of air up through the sieve. Control of the airflow is critical. The heaviest elements of stock are not lifted by the air, but fall through the sieve, transported down for further processing through more brake rolls. The rest of the stock is drawn up through narrow channels. When it reaches the expanded space above the channels, the lighter dust and bran is carried away to waste, while the heavier, usable stock falls back down into trays. The stock in the trays is then delivered to the reduction rolls to start the fine milling process.
The 4 centrifugal silk sieves are designed to put a final polish on the flour, removing any remaining bran or mids and making the flour finer and finer as it goes.
Here, on the ground floor, the flour, bran and offal are delivered as separate elements. The flour travels along a screw conveyor towards the weighing and bagging operations.
The finished flour is gathered into the worm conveyor as it passes right across the mill, passes along into the sack bag where it can be bumped, ready for weighing and delivery.